and they just about doubled the height. It's now a 13-foot wall. It used to be just over 7 foot tall. Our friend Clliff Floyd has some thoughts. When you start tricking up the ballpark, where are you with this move, by the way?
So at first I was like, you must be crazy, right? I was like, you got to be crazy. And then I started thinking about, Matty, if you can hit, and it is the best ballpark to see the baseball in, the best ballpark in the league to see the baseball in, right? And if you have 40, 45 doubles per team, if your team is not a team that's going to consistently hit the ball at the ballpark, I want the doubles. I want the extra base hits. If you get some guys on base, it can work for you because your pitchers got to get on the mound too. So that I see it and it's like, look, whoa, right? It like jumps at you, but it's just such a great ballpark to hit in. I mean, yes, when it was low and yes, it felt like, you know what, you could just poke a ball left field and it go right over the wall. But when you look at your staff, I have to figure out some way to help them at some point and possibly.
Yeah. Do you draft and sign your personnel based on your ballpark, or do you change the ballpark based on your personnel?
I take the latter.
Okay.
I do. I just feel like that plays to how we're going to get back relevant. And maybe we won't get back relevant, but at least the pitchers have a little bit of leeway as far as giving up a ball on a mistake and it don't just go right over that little wall in left field.
Well, maybe it's working. I mean, the Orioles are look, they're not off to a trailblazing start here, but they're off to a better start than they were last year. They've had some surprising series wins, so maybe it's working for them. Speaking of how you play, I know you have thoughts on a couple of young stars, how they play and the sustainability of their careers. Byron Buxton, another little wall moment this weekend. Ronald Acuna is a scratch. They've talked about him trying to dial it down. If you're a coach, you're a coach or a mentor, how do you take the want out of a guy and preserve him? How do you do that?
Sometimes I don't think you can. This is how he played in Little League. This is how Buxton played his whole entire life. And we saw with Bryce Harper, and we was like, whoa, he ran to the wall in his first stint in LA.
Yeah.
And his face was busted all up, and we're going, no, we need longevity out of you, son. So we're going to dial it back a little bit on certain situations. But how do you do it? Byron Buxton can only play one way. When you hear him talk, that's all he has is, I'm 100% all in. It's going to have to come from him, is what I'm trying to say. The coaches are not going to be able to say, hey, man, you're going to have to chill on some of these balls. The pitching staff is like, we want you to go after, but chill, we need you out here. And the numbers are proving that 150-plus games with Byron Buxton is a total different dynamic in that lineup, and it's going to help that team become a winner again.
Hey, speaking of Harper, I know you watched over the weekend the Phillies, who were underdogs all 4 games in their series with the Dodgers. They went Thursday, they went Friday, they went Saturday. They lost the finale yesterday. But if you had bet the Phillies 1 unit on each of those games when they were listed as a dog, you'd be up 280 right now.
Some cheese.
Yeah, I mean, they go off as sizable 200-plus dogs, and they win 3 out of 4. It's the old adage, man. Anybody can win any day, right? We don't know anything.
Best part about our game.
Right, we're handicapping pitching and strengths and weaknesses, but they went out there and took 3 of 4.
They took them because the defense was a lot different than we've seen from the Phillies team. And then, oh, by the way, Harper was totally different than what we've seen from early in the season. He was second half of last year, Bryce Harper.
Yeah.
Right? So you look at it and go, if Corey Knebel just throws another curveball to Cody Bellinger yesterday, they sweep him. Because, he threw a fastball right down the middle, hits a triple, they end up eventually losing the ball game. I just look at the Phillies and go, pay attention to detail, what hinders you from being great. Your defense stinks. You can get better. And it shows in a series like this where they went out, played great defense, and obviously hit the ball because we know they're going to do that part of it.
Right.
And then it just all fell into place. And they blew 3 saves opportunities.
That's right.
And still won the game.
That's right.
So I look at this team, and I saw them in spring training for 30 for 30, and I thought, all right, they're going to have to out-hit teams to win. They can do that. But you still have to go out there and catch the baseball a little bit better than they have, and this series proved that.
And the East is compelling. It's anybody's ball game. Speaking of which, I have to imagine, and I saw Gary Sheffield's Instagram posts over the weekend. You had to have been in Miami for the celebration.
I missed it.
You missed it on Sunday? What a bummer.
I missed it, bro. I went out for Arizona Cubs for Apple.
Oh, you're working.
And I was working a little bit, and I got some hits. I got to text some people back. And then, they was like, look, that's not Clliff to not show up, because I've been to everything that the Marlins do alumni-wise. And it hurt me not to be there, man, with my boys, because, it just took you back. Jim Eisenreich, who, was Chef, Kurt Abbott. So I was on the scrub team. See, I was a B team. You know what I mean? It was the stars, and there was Kurt Abbott, myself, Alex Arias. We was all sitting there chilling. And those boys I missed.
You were a young guy,
yeah,
man.
I was a young dude.
You didn't come into your own till the next year, but still, that's too bad you missed.
It was fun.
You've got some plays for tonight, which I love.
Yeah.
A couple things you like. Miguel Cabrera to homer. Is this a matched-up based thing, or
100%?
Okay.
When you look at the numbers, they speak to him. 362. I mean, you wouldn't think he had these type of numbers off, Klubot, but I mean, you look at that right there. It just plays to how great Miggy is. You see the numbers. You see all the accolades he's accomplished, Matty. I just look at the matchup, 362 with 6 homers and 13 ribs against Corey Kluber. I think that plays.
Numbers don't lie, and
right?
He's hot right now too. Let me ask you this: as a general principle, would you assign more value to head-to-head numbers or what two guys are doing right now?
That's a great question. That is really a great question. I always sort of attribute to right now, because when you're feeling good. Like, my numbers were great against Chan-Ho Park. If I was feeling good at the time, I knew exactly what Chan-Ho was going to throw me. I don't even need the numbers. But when you come up and tell me, you have great numbers against Chan-Ho Park, did you know that? And I'm struggling, I'm like, boy, I want to get me back. Boy, is he going to throw me a fastball he typically throws? Right. All the stuff that's like derail you from being great against a guy is all in the nugget. So it's just right now, if I'm feeling good, come on, let's go. Let's see what you got.
Who are you with tonight at 6 p.m. MLB tonight?
Jim Thome and Franny.
Oh, I like that group.
Hey, Jim Thome, what do you see the outfit he wearing? He put a little work in it. Yeah, he looked.
We got to tune in
good,
now.
Man.
That's what we call a tease in the business. Clliff Floyd will be on MLB tonight, coming up in about 15 minutes.